But we all get clever to cover our fear of getting caught. And plus, lying's not always wrong. You're not stuck because you're dumb. You're stuck because you're smart and scared. If you're anything like me, success does not scare you. An unfamiliar identity does. Hi, I'm Adam Kasix, and I work with intelligent, family-oriented professionals who've achieved success but still have gaps that need filling, like fulfilling their calling or thriving through a crisis. Through my inspired frameworks, paired with elite awareness development training, I help you see the patterns you've been conditioned with that have now become the sabotage to your peace and success. Together, we'll eliminate confusion, people-pleasing, and frustration while gaining life-elevating insights and convicted clarity for your next move. Opening new doors of fresh opportunity and potential, oftentimes in just days or weeks. By shaking off the crap that hinders you, when you confront your beast, you get to realize you're already who you've always suspected you were. And then the anxiety lifts. The pressure to perform dissipates, and you relax. This isn't therapy, it's identity triage and restoration. You don't need fixing because you're not broken, you're just misaligned. Maybe it's time to step into who you were never equipped to be, but deep down inside have always known you were made to be. For a head start on today's show and to maximize your time investment with us, which we appreciate, by the way, very much, grab your personality pattern breakdown. It's free at beasttype.com. Take the 7-minute quiz, get an instant breakdown with proven in-the-fire tips guaranteed to help you elevate today. Then, rejoin us with your elevated awareness. Now, let's get into it. All right, this next segment is called 3 Things, because I didn't have the time or creativity to come up with anything better than that. But this is where I take 3 things that I found from across the internet, in the world, even daily life, that have inspired me, equipped me, entertained me, and sometimes piss me off. And I riff on it. Enjoy this, and I hope it does the same for you. Man, we could jump into Conor McGregor being saved right now, right? Big headlines, Conor McGregor saved. Let's show that clip.
Do you feel that there is a connection between your journey and the spirit of BKFC in some way?
For sure. I am not here just by chance. There is a higher power, God, that dictates my journey and all of our journeys. And I live my life by God's word. Since around that time that you mentioned at the last event, I've engaged on a spiritual journey, and I'm saved, I am healed. And, you know, on the back of that, the world is in for a treat. The world is in for a treat.
There it is. There it is. I live my life by God's word. I've been healed. I've been saved. And on the back of that, wait till you see how awesome I am now. Wow. Listen, I would never presume to judge the state of another human being's soul. However, we have data that we can look at in standards that Jesus has given us and says, if you live your life by me, which I am the Word of God, John 1:1 says that very clearly. In the beginning was the Word was with God, and the Word was God. That word is logos for all you Bible students out there. Jesus refers to himself as the Word. He is the living Word. Now, he lives his life by God's Word, and Scripture tells us very clearly that when someone does this, they will exhibit what's called fruits of the Spirit. When we truly have a spiritual transformation in God like that, which, by the way, he never said the name of Jesus Christ, so that public profession is a part of it, and I'm not knocking, I'm not splitting hairs here. But I am talking about and commenting on someone who has an uncrowned king in terms of the beast archetypes. He's an uncrowned king. What's your favorite championship? The next one. How much money is enough? Another $1, right? There's never enough to satiate that soul, so they collect trophies on the outside, men and women, because we never feel like the king or queen on the inside for real. Because if you do, you can relax. You don't have to prove anything any longer. And so on the back of this, he says, on the back of me getting saved, you're going to see some spectacular things. Now that's consistent with his megalomania and his sexual assault guilt. That's also on the back of him wanting to be the president of Ireland and they laughing him out of the country. And then there's also him in talks with the United States government so he could fight on the White House lawn next year at the UFC event. There are patterns here. I hope Conor's healed. I hope he's saved. But also, the Bible's very clear. God does not dictate our lives. That's an anti-Christ idea. It's anti-scriptural. It's not true. Within a bunch of reason, we have free will to make choices. God does not dictate. So, what do I think? 80-20, is that a rough feel that Conor's full of it still? And following the path of his own greatness, of his own mind? I do. I hope it's real. we'll keep a lookout for them and even pray for them.
How do I get rid of the anger that I have towards the parent that I didn't feel safe with?
So anger is there, is it not?
Yes.
And you're trying to get rid of anger.
Yeah.
So what does that make you feel?
Frustrated.
Yeah, which is akin to anger.
Right, yeah.
So how's that working out?
Not so good.
So you look at the parent with whom you have this anger towards. So your anger is a survival mechanism for deep hurt.
How do I get rid of the anger? Notice, he helped her see her beast. Her beast is very simple. It's not easy. It's simple. She did not get her breakthrough in that minute like that video clickbait said. It's a great video, but it didn't happen. Someone in her life, the only people who had the responsibility, the duty, to provide her safety or attention, things were good until they weren't. And at a certain point, she lost her safety. She lost her ability to feel secure in the environment she was in. And when you're a child and that happens to you, you're setting up for decades and decades of haywire responses. Things go nice, they go beautiful, you get a blessing, and then in a matter of no time, you start getting anxious or have an anxiety attack because internally you believe it's going to get blown up, it's going to be taken away from you again because it doesn't last for you. You can see the beast. She sees it. She sees the anger and the shame and the guilt that she's put herself through for holding on to this thing from the past that is so painful. You're not angry at the parent anymore. You're angry at the fact that it is, that this is in your life and it's not your fault. But we know that the first star on the 5-star commitment is it might be 0% your fault, but it's always 100% your responsibility. In this context, we're talking about living healthy, getting healed, getting rid of the dis-ease that's inside of us. She didn't get the steps to how do I get rid of it. He helped her see the beast, but unless you confront the beast still owns you. The only way to get rid of the anger so it's still not in there is to confront the beast and then develop a practice of continually confronting it on a daily basis until the point where you master it and you take the reins of power back in your life. And the reins of power feel a whole lot like peace and security. That's what happens. That's the way. The way you get rid of it isn't just simply forgiving them, even though that's absolutely necessary in the formula. But that takes a little time too. What I would have done with her, once she saw it and she started crying and she's getting the shallow breath, and I've been there a million times, I'm not teasing, I would have her admit that it's in the past. Is it happening now? Is that threat, that lack of safety, the lack of provision, is it active in your life right now? And when she answers the truth, if she's got the guts to answer the truth, and my guess she does, she would admit, no, it's not active in my life now. I'm remembering a past event or many events that I'm attributing to being current now by my emotional state and my mentality toward it. Your answer of how to get rid of it is right there. If you admit that it no longer plays a part in your life now, you can literally overcome it in a matter of seconds and break through it in no time like a flash. And then it's practice to rewire the conditioning and the patterns that you've built in yourself. Because that does take time no matter what, and that's a practical process. That does not happen in a flash. Not normally. How do I get rid of the anger that I had toward the parent, that I have toward the parent I didn't feel safe with? That's how. She saw her beast, and unless she confronts it and learns a practice of mastery to overcome it, she'll be stuck in that pattern of anger, frustration, and decay until she dies. That's the fact of what will happen. And I really do hope that she was given some tools and some understanding to overcome it. Here's the catch. Most people, when they see the beast, she acknowledged it. Seeing is not confronting. I can see something over there. Doesn't mean I'm confronting it. Confrontation is active engagement. That is where most people stop. That's where they give up and shrink and melt. The Bible talks about putting your faith through fire that it may be tested and be proved genuine. If you really want to get rid of the anger, the rage, the panic attacks that happen after a beautiful day, if you truly do, you won't shrink at the moment you see your beast. You'll be shown, you'll acknowledge that it's in the past, that it does not affect you right now, and you'll say that. That's confronting it. You're in the past. You don't have authority over my life right now unless I give it to you. And I've been giving it to you, and that stops now. That parent or uncle or family, or whatever they did for how long they did it, they're not doing it now. It's gone. I'm only remembering the past. If you have the guts to say that and face that truth, that is what it looks like to confront your beast. That's it. Then, from there, you do realize in an instant that the beast, its only power is what you give it. And that's not trying to be cliche or meta. That is true. The people who are the most owned by their beast are the ones who tend to worry the most about the future too, because they're so obsessed with the past being bad that how can the future not also be bad, right? And so we worry. But that's how you get rid of it. You got to know you're ready to do that. You need to find out your personality pattern, your dominant one. Go to beasttype.com and find it out. 10 questions. If you're halfway intelligent, it'll take you about 6 minutes to take or less. 10 minutes or less. Everybody gets it done in about that amount of time. That's how you get rid of it. You make a commitment to stop holding on to the past, which feels good and safe and familiar. To hold on to it, as twisted as that sounds. And then you look yourself in the pupils, in the mirror. Is it happening to us anymore? No, it's not. Is it in the past? Yes, it is. Does it have to own me anymore? No, it doesn't. And then we can jump into the practical tools and habits and different things, but it doesn't matter how many of those change. You have to change your mind toward how you see it, and then have the guts to take one step. You know, something really cool I saw over the weekend was by one of the greatest mixed martial arts athletes of all time, the Spider, Anderson Silva. And he said,
when you lose, you understand how your mind is prepared for the next challenge. You're not the best when you don't prove yourself how much you can beat yourself.
what a fascinating quote. Raising 4 kids, I know I get excited about this kind of stuff, winning and losing in life, the kind of quality of life you're going to be living or the lifestyle that you'll have. And I don't just mean material, I mean the way the style of your life goes. Some people are in mess patterns their whole life. Some people, a little bit of adversity, it wipes them out, makes them quit. I used to be like that, have a lot of that in me, because we have sabotage hidden in our patterns, in our subconscious. Most of us look at it like it's something out there. It's something over there. It's not. It's always in here. It's always in here, between the head and the heart somewhere. Why do we care so much about things that we have no influence over? Things that we have literally zero impact or control in. You know what we do have control over? We have control over raising our kids and helping them prepare for another hard day when you get messages like this from their teacher. I just had a heart-to-heart with him and he broke down crying. He said that he feels like the devil is attacking him. This is my 13-year-old son. He feels like he doesn't know why, but he doesn't care about anything right now, at home and at school. I spoke some truth into him and told him that I love him and care about him, and everyone around him does as well. He walked some laps at recess and did some reflection and praying. He said he feels better, but he still has to work on a lot. He said he's going to try his best at school and at home. I honestly don't know if he ate lunch because I was so frustrated. I was in my own zone. How do you handle these conversations with a 13-year-old? I'm telling him, I know math has given you problems. Literally and figuratively, right? He really thinks it matters. His schoolwork, he really thinks it matters. And I'm over here telling him, just like his Bible tells him, just like mine tells me, what we see, feel, and touch is less real than what we can't see, feel, or touch. And so I'm helping him see that we battle not against flesh and blood, papers and problems, but against principalities and powers and the dark forces in the unseen realms. That's our real battle. And if you're being raised up to being one of God's warriors, one of his soldiers of light, and you're gonna come back one day with the rider on the white horse, how are you gonna let a math problem melt you? Let alone your commitment to thinking how much this matters in this moment. So what I instructed him last night, first of all, you gotta look at this clearly. And one, what is the reality? The reality is, what's the worst that can happen if I don't even do these problems? I show back up and I say, teach, Ms. Brooks. I'm being playful with him when I communicate with him because it helps him stay loose and understand the essence of the message better, which most adults struggle with. The essence of the message, don't get distracted. It's not about the math. And I told him, like a fighter in an octagon who's got a coach, a corner, a trainer, the fighter gets a loss. We took a loss. The whole team took a loss. Not just you. You just had to go in there and fight the fight. You just have to go in there, my son, with the math problem and face the music, right? You go in and you say, I'm telling you, worked on this last night with mom and dad. It's tough. It's tough. Like, this is the opposite of reading for me. Like, this is tough. I'm no good at it. Okay, maybe that's bad self-talk, but seriously, I suck at this. And I'm here because I need some help getting through this. And this is the best I got at this moment. When you show up with that level of cool and that level of emotional detachment from the outcome, you gotta stay focused on the point of the problem. The point of the problem is to develop your potential. It's to develop your skills, your patience, your resilience. It's to beat the bitch out of you. The bitching, the whining, the complaining. It's to beat all that out of you to toughen your skin. I reminded him again this morning, it's not about the thing. It's about what the thing is doing to train you. Right now, it's my son's math problem. It's his long days, because he's also an elite athlete. And he trains hard every single day, Monday through Friday, multiple hours a day. All those things are like the barbed wire in basic training. It's just something to train us. He said that I encouraged him today, my son Grayson. He said that he was strengthened. He did not seem upset when he was leaving. These are big things, big things. And I don't expect him to understand it right away. And I tell him all the time, don't compare yourself to me because I'm just an imperfect knucklehead too. I am. I'm on my road though. That's the difference. Progress is perfection in the land of process. Life is a process. The natural state, like I told him, of nature is growth. The natural state is growth. When you're constantly resisting the process that you're in, the winds that are blowing against you, you're missing the point of your potential. And I think today, from last night to today, my 13-year-old can stop asking the teacher to call mom and save me from the day. Men and women do it too. Prime producing parents, man, we have our ways, don't we? We have our escapes. Not a whole lot different than my kid wanting to leave school early. We are no different as adults. We are no different. We have our things. We cannot get distracted. The problem in front of you is not the point. Your potential is the point. And you're in a process of development. So you got creative, got clever. Everybody can relate to that. We've all done it. We've all lied about, was our hand in the cookie jar when mom or grandma walked in, right? Like, whoa, no, I was cleaning it, mom. I was cleaning it. It's 1:38 in the morning, son. So anyway, we don't have to talk about it right now though. But we all get clever to cover our fear of getting caught, our beasts. So first of all, why'd you take the fruit snacks?
Because I wanted something to eat. So I went to the storage room and checked. So fruit snacks, so I took like 2.
But you were hungry. It wasn't just to take it wasn't because you just wanted fruit snacks, right? Like you weren't hoarding them. You were hungry.
Plus they taste good, so.
Let's tell the whole story. You got busted and everything. What happened?
Brooks, my teacher asked me if I had anything. She said she saw the fruit snacks in my gym bag in the side pocket. She asked me where did I get those from, and I said from home. And she said, Grayson, really? And then I said, no, I got them from the storage room. She said, okay, go put them back. The next week I wrote her a letter and...
Whoa. You said one I got from home, the other one I got here. You tried again?
Yeah.
And we talked about how you get that feeling. Your heart goes through your face.
Start breathing heavily. Trying to catch your breath.
Fastly.
And then you're not trying to breathe, and I'll look suspicious, and they take one big deep
One
breath.
deep, yeah. Oh my gosh, fight or flight is something else. Flight or freeze. All three can happen. Fight or flight, well, you can also freeze. Remember that conversation we had that night coming home? About the influence spiritually? Spirit is willing, flesh is weak. You get tempted to lie to cover yourself, that's the flesh. The spirit in you wants to do the right thing. That's why we need to record these things when they happen. At this point, you're like, it's long gone, huh, from your mind?
Yeah.
I'm having to work real hard to draw this out of you.
And there's 24 hours in a day. And there's a lot of minutes in a day, and who knows what happens in those minutes. So it's easy to forget things.
All right, so we talked about that, right? Like you get influenced one way or another. We're trying to help you win and you want to win. So we had to talk about it rather than coming at you hard, like most of us were raised, especially when a parent found out you were lying. It was automatic, boom, guilt, death sentence, the whole 9, right? No conversation, no nothing. And sometimes conversations aren't necessary.
Yeah.
But most of the time, it's a wise practice. So we did. My main thing was that I didn't want to deliver some kind of punishment, grounding something without getting to the bottom of where you were coming from. Because we also don't believe that you're trying to be a bad person. And plus, lying's not always wrong.
Yesterday, we did like a protest thing where it was like, A is if a kid does bad things, he should automatically have consequences to his actions and everything, or hers, if they like act out, number 1. And the B was you should give him to like guiding counselor or something like that, principal, and to ask him what's going on and give him a second chance. Chose B because that's called grace.
It's excellent. Yeah, and it's bigger than all this either or stuff. Most of life is not either or, a switch, good or bad. It's not. Most of it is not. But in the case of your test, to keep it simple, it was either condemn or converse. right? And then we talk about how people use, remember, like angel and demon on your shoulders?
Tom and Jerry.
Tom and Jerry.
Tom, when he has the bad side of him.
Yep.
And the good side.
Yep. It's in our nature. Spirit versus flesh. It's good versus bad. Dark versus light. So, rather than just assuming you have this devious heart that's trying to sneak and steal, because that's what you want to do. It wasn't what you wanted to do. You're freaking hungry. You're not taking care of yourself right yet at 13, going on 14. You don't prepare yourself well. Still, it is what it is. So you got hungry. Now, tell me, is there something wrong with being hungry?
No.
Is there something wrong with being hungry at school, though?
No.
Of course not. Your first inclination was to believe the fear, the doubt, and then try to cover yourself using your cleverness. Didn't work out. So, when you understand the battle that you're in, that seemed to help you a little bit. Did it not? Tell me about that. Make any difference?
It did help me.
How do you see it?
I can learn from my past mistakes and think before I think. Yeah.
Yeah. Pause and think in the moment before you answer.
Yeah.
But did it help to know that there's a battlefield of the mind that we can't see and that there's influences that are good, influences that are bad, a true either or? Like, did it help to know that? To think that your temptations to lie actually come from potential dark thoughts? Are you not really using that yet? To realize that you're in a war?
Yeah, not really.
Not really using that yet. And if you're just joining us right now, I am sitting with Grayson, my youngest of 4, who's an elite gymnast, going through some things on the Confront Your Beast podcast here. How you feel about your lying career? You think it's been retired or you're almost gonna retire?
Almost.
Almost retired. All right, a little bit left to go out of the system? Probably. Smart guy. That's a very realistic outlook. But right now, we're doing a training period, aren't we?
Yeah.
When all this went down, there was about 10 weeks left until the end of the year. And that's about the same as a 10-week training program that might be 75 days. It might be really hard, right? So I said, look at it like a 75 hard. So that means through Thanksgiving, through the holidays, Christmas, New Year. And do you remember what brought that about ultimately? That level of strictness? We talked about when you came home from spending the night at your friends. One of the very first things you did was tell me what?
Don't remember.
You let me know how strict I was. You started using that word on me. And people in our house, it doesn't matter if I am or not. Strict has its value. But you came home putting that on me and I could tell it wasn't yours. That wasn't you. You came home talking like someone else's kid, not mine. And so we took time, talked with your mom, we decided on it. And plus, we let you stay that extra night. Remember I told you it was a bit of a test that we felt, that I thought that you were probably gonna fail. And that was to come home not wrecked. And you came home wrecked, like you said, your words. We felt that demonstrated you not really knowing what strict was. We basically said, we're gonna show you, let you feel it. Not super hardcore, but let you feel it, right?
Yeah.
In normal life, in lying, what are the spiritual implications and how do we handle these in our house? So that's about the gist of that. We got about 15 more minutes until we get to gym.
Yeah.
You got any closing thoughts that you might want to help any of your peers or any adults who are getting value out of this? What do you have?
Take in what you eat or your life is going to be short like February.
What does that mean?
There's a preacher on the road and he says like, repent now or you'll die in hell. Something like that.
Okay.
That's just shoving the gospel in their face.
Yes.
You need to let them taste it and swallow it.
So how does that apply to this? Help me connect it to the lesson.
That's just a thought in my head. I felt like I needed to say that.
And say it one more time.
Take in what you eat or your life is going to be short like February.
Now, it's time for our Q&C segment of the week when Adam reacts to your questions and comments from around the internet. The good, the bad, the ugly, and even the hate. Enjoy! Hey, Dad, you can come back in.
Here's the video. So my coach tells me when I'm in a moment where I am getting affected by something, anxiety, the stuff that I help people with, right? In a moment where I'm getting anxious and I work myself through it, and I use my stuff where I can share a little story about it where it's really real rather than I'm teaching something. They're like, we need that. It's golden, golden, golden. When I do it, I get hammered. I get insulted by randos. I'm just over here just trying to do an email. I go get a photo out of my phone because I want to include the photo into the email and send it off. And I'm like, I caught myself in this big hurry, rush internal. And I go, whoa, wait a second. Relax. Just relax. There's no hurry here. This is your work. What beast is that? Hurry. Measure up. Reach those expectations. And then I remembered my coach. She's like, hey man, when you get that stuff in the middle of the moment, record it, send it out. Here it is. What beast is that? Let me know. Let me know in a comment. Well, that's it, right? That was the video. Pretty reasonable. Pretty chill, if you ask me.
So you got like 1,000 comments.
No. We got one. I want you to read it out loud, the whole thing. I want you to read his name. This is your work.
At Mobile Suit 1. Don't sue me, bro. Jesus
No, we're giving
Christ,
Mobile
man. Listen to yourself. LOL. Your reply. 1. I would, but my... There you go, K. I would, but my earbuds died.
I'll drink to that.
Oh my god. Number 2. Respect for spelling God's name right. Oh. Number 3. Sweet profile pic. Is that kind of authenticity we come to love about your child?
Look it. It's a cartoon, like, Final Fantasy character. Yeah.
Oh my god. Ooh. Number 4. Thanks for the comment. You're helping not only me listen to more of myself, parenthesis, after I charge those but you're also helping more people listen to myself too. Shaka. All around great work. Did it reply or no?
No, probably not. There's hold on, watch. Here's a good one. I want you to do this one.
Oh, those are other comments?
Here's another one. We're gonna do live reads with Jay.
Oh, Lord.
We're gonna do live reads.
Oh, man.
If we really want to change, we have to start by changing our habits.
Wrong. Stop changing your actions. Your actions got nothing to do with it. Stop jerking off to porn. Stop going to the casino. Stop judging your neighbor. It's not about that. So that's the context of the video. Got it?
Oh, his name is Adam too. At Adam Hart. The Bible is literally a book telling men how to change your actions. There's even a list of 10 things you should not do. And a million other things you should stop doing. Maybe chill out a little and read the book. Oh, man.
Chill out a little.
To you.
And read the book.
How many times you read the book?
The number in my head was 20.
Whew. That's what I'm saying. This guy doesn't even know.
Well, and the hard part is that you don't come and see me talk and think, oh, this dude's super religious and he's got it all figured out. He's the academic. No, right, you do, and we talk. But when you talk to me for a while, you realize, like, it leads me. Everything I do flows out of that, and so I just keep, And this guy...
So here's your response. Hey, Adam, thanks for engaging. Religion takes care of the rules. Relationship takes care of the heart and the capacity to remain in me.
That's what Jesus told us to do.
Right. Quotation, my bad. Religious people need the rules. Jesus people need the relationship. May God bless you and keep you. May his face shine upon you. P.S. Oh, my bad.
No, go ahead.
P.S. Everything you do flows from the heart. Get the heart right through relationship and the habits handle themselves. Heart fire emoji.
So, I wasn't snarky with him.
Right.
Because he brought the Bible all into it, right?
Right.
And I have to think to myself, just from what he said, that would have bothered me some years ago, and I would have felt the need to prove myself to him. I don't have any of that in me anymore. So, I actually just felt like I was supposed to serve that guy. Him and his cartoon avatar fake face. I was gentle with him like I would be a 9-year-old child. Mm-hmm. And in here, if he has read the Bible before, like I quoted Psalms. Like that's a Bible verse right there. You know what I mean? Mm. And so like the Bible also says everything you do flows from your heart. So I was letting him know without saying, here's this Bible verse. And I didn't want to smack him. Nobody, like, I'm not here to do that.
You snuck that verse in there.
But if you're going to come, then I'm probably going to try to use you for funny, right? Oh, here's a good one. So obviously, there's a whole world form. Look at that video. Hairlines blazing, right? It's from the Beast is Running Your Life video where my long hair's pulled back and you can...
buddy, you got
and you can see the W is for winners, right? I've sent you that before.
I like that.
Yeah. So we go into the comments. Oh, 2 replies.
Giga Jim.
What's his name?
Giga Jim 1.
Giga Jim 1 with a what is that emoji?
Bro, it looks like a king turd or something.
A turd or
like no, actually
pile of
it looks like a ninja turd or something. So he put.
So now watch. Go ahead.
the hairline, that emoji. And then you reply, the struggle is real. And then he liked that one.
You know what I want to know? What are you doing with your life, Giga Jim 1? Giga Jim 1, this message is for you. This is like an intervention. Your value to the world was to comment that a 46-year-old dude has an inconsistent hairline. And then I'm so secure in it that I gave you a blessing when you tried to take my life away. You tried to take my encouragement, my confidence.
Hey, you got your hair, buddy. I'm proud of you. 40 what?
Bro.
There you go.
Bro. You
Giga
kidding me? Giga Jim 1 couldn't even clean the freaking pool.
43, we struggling over here.
I'll drink to that. You know what the problem with Giga Jim 1 is?
He needs more gigs.
He hasn't been humiliated. Too young, hasn't been embarrassed hard enough, or enough. You know what I mean?
Lord.
But to come out and say that to somebody, would you ever walk into a room, meet somebody at a wedding, meet a stranger at a friend's house for a holiday party, and walk up to somebody and go,
what's up with that?
The hairline, bro. Can you imagine that?
Oh my God.
I would love it if Giga Jim 1 did that with me at a party.
Oh Lord. Yeah. That's the world we're in, man.
It's the world we're in. And I knew that when I was getting ready to go out and do more of this, like straight in your face and be comfortable with who I am and do my thing, I knew I was ready, but I also knew, like, I felt God tell me in my heart, this was like a year and a half ago, it's time. He's like, but be ready. They're coming at you. Be ready. They are coming at you. Whew. That's a wrap on today's show. So what did we go through? What did we cover? We can cover our 3 things. We talked about Conor McGregor being saved. Is it for real? Too soon to tell. How to get rid of the anger, especially as it relates to relationships and family, that she saw her beast, but she did not confront her beast. And to be the best, we heard Anderson Silva talk about to be the best. You have to learn how you can beat yourself, not your opponent. It's a very high-level elite mindset from the all-time win streak record in the UFC and combat sports athlete. I went off on a riff about how problems aren't problems. The point of them is the development of your potential. So don't get distracted by the problems. How is this being used to develop me in my purpose? We had a conversation with Grayson, how we use clever to cover up our fear and the fruit snacks and the teacher and to protect himself. We got to connect that to how we do that. We get fancier with these things as we're adults. We touched on our Q&C segment, encouraged you to not get caught up in the moment or get caught up in the comments. The comments from the crowd, like my daughter Addison says. She always says, Dad, don't worry about them because they're non-player characters. NPCs, it's crowd noise. Literally, in these videos, it's sound effects. It sounds like this. That's an NPC. Next time you hear some hate, some comeback at you, don't worry about it. Respond with love and just know that it's the one in the arena. You're the one in the arena that counts, not them. Every arena needs a crowd. Sound effects for people at home watching. No impact on the game. I mean, some people call him the third man, but it's the one in the arena that really counts. So at this point, what I want you to do with all this today, I want to encourage you, I want to invite you. You get caught in something, you feel something, rage is taking over, something's triggered, but at the end of the day, you're in a moment where you're having an emotional stimulus. Instead of just brushing it over and working through it, but how about pause? Just pause in there. They always say between stimulus and response is choice. But if we go too fast, we get stimulated and we respond too fast and we just go to do something else. And when you pause, you can take just a moment and say, what is this doing in me? What value does this have in my life? Is it serving me? Is it working against me? Do I need to adjust it? Maybe don't throw the whole thing out, but change it somehow, some way. And that is your memorized pattern of reaction. So that way, when you make your choice, it's better each and every time. Pause and reflect. That's my invitation to you. If I were to have you take one action today that I believe would help you, that would serve you in your life, it would be to find out your dominant personality pattern. If you go to beasttype.com, 10 simple questions. Each one has 10 individual answers that feel similar, but there are radical differences mostly. But that thing will take you about 7 to 10 minutes. At the end, you drop your email. I give you a full-blown PDF breakdown of that dominant pattern. And around here, we're calling them the beast archetypes. And you're gonna get very simple, clear action steps on what to do to begin improve this and begin eliminating the sabotage in your life or these unwanted patterns that you have. There's gold here. I hope that you save this resource, that you watch it again or clip a part that you need, maybe share it with a friend that could use this, maybe a parent or a relative or somebody that you love. And I hope it can bless your life. I hope it can help you achieve a breakthrough. Even if it's a simple one, it could be significant. Don't forget to like this video. As you engage this content, you're going to be shown more of the types of things that are more suitable for you. And we're always producing more and different angles of looking at this stuff and trying to take deep and sometimes scary stuff and make it light. You can also follow us and listen over at the podcast. We are on every channel. We're RSS syndicated. Everywhere you listen, we're probably there. We also have resources and tools. Engage. Drop questions in the comments. Let us know about your beast after you take beast type. Let's create more engagement, because this kind of stuff is destroying people's chances for a great, bright future. It's messing up their potential, making them stagnant, stuck in the mud. And in worst case scenarios, it's breaking homes in half when moms and dads aren't confronting their own beast, but they're raising their children in the same beast patterns that their parents raised them in. And on episode 4 that you will find, that's coming out in a couple weeks, you're going to discover how we have a saboteur inside. So in the next episode, we're going to discuss the saboteur inside. We got some special treats for that one on there. And other than that, take the quiz, drop your comments and questions. We can't wait to see you next time.